Hello and welcome to the SACCO Insight podcast, where we are amplifying people's voices. My name is George Ombado, the Executive Director of ACCO. Welcome to another episode of SACCO Insight, where our main focus today is on technology, on how technology can improve operational efficiency and service delivery to the credit unions or the SACCO. As you all know, SACCO Insight is about amplifying people's voices. Today, we are delighted and pleased to have two of the CEOs in the continent that are highly valued because of the engagement and manner in which they have transformed the credit union. I'd like to welcome Solomon Atsiaya, the CEO of Kenya Police SACCO.
Thank you, George.
And he's an IQ'd, meaning the topmost DE certification. And we have Dr. Hassan, the CEO of Stima SACCO.
Thank you.
My first question is in terms of, to either of you, in terms of technology, how have technology helped you manage to serve your members better?
All right, and thank you for having me. The world has changed in very many ways, and specifically if you have to look at the financial sector, and of course the SACCO sector is not an exemption, you find that there's been an uptake of technology. And this is being driven not necessarily from the SACCOs themselves, but from the members who derive a service from the SACCO sector. These members are all in a digital space. They either have smartphones, they have tablets. They're much more consciously aware of what is being available digitally. And therefore, it becomes incumbent upon us as SACCOs to ensure we're still relevant to the members. And for a SACCO like Stima, it means that we invest very heavily around technology. We don't have a big branch network. We only have 12 branches. However, we invest more on ensuring we have our services available either on a mobile platform, on internet banking, on any other platform apart from the physical one. So technology becomes a game changer for us, because also let's not forget, SACCOs do not exist in a vacuum. We exist in a platform that has fintechs, it has banks. I am mostly concerned about fintechs. Fintechs are purely digital entities, but somehow they also manage to do what we do from a digital space. And then the question becomes, are we still relevant to the membership that we do have? And can we be able to compete adequately in order to provide those services that if we do not provide, they'd walk away and they'll actually thumb away to the next app if you're not there with those applications that need to be utilized. So in our perspective, then investment around fintech, investment about technology becomes as important as getting a member actually on board.
So it's necessary, or it's almost a must that you must be involved in technology.
Definitely. Yes.
What about you, Solomon?
I think, George, to me, technology in the 21st century is one of the biggest drivers we have for business. Of course, all time in history, we've been operating from manual platforms that are not very efficient, that cannot deliver service 24/7, that have a lot of hitches and a lot of challenges. But as Police SACCO, we've realized in the 21st century, technology is one of the biggest driver we have, and we have actually took that strategic step. Technology has also helped us to address some of the inefficiencies. An example would be a document management system, which we put in place to help us address the inefficiencies around files getting lost, around looking for files and we are not able to. So we've been able to do that. And one of the things we've done is to virtualize all our members' files. That has given us the capacity to be able to lend and give services to members on daily basis. So basically we are able to process all our loans on the same day because of that kind of efficiency. And also because of we have 8 branches, physical branches.
Again, we don't require members should physically bring those forms. Once you fill the form digitally and you share with us from wherever you are, the form is picked up in the system, and then we are able to process. So we found that giving us a lot of high efficiency, and efficiency, it means we spend less to do more. And number two, we are able to do a lot of turnaround in terms of how much volumes we can push. And you know, when you turn around volumes, that is money. That's money. So you find with less, you're able to do good revenues.
Thank you for that. Are you seeing any direct correlationship between absorption of technology and your growth? Because you're talking to the top 3 SACCOs, not just in Kenya, but in Africa.
Of course, when you adopt technology, we are saying there's growth because one, you are able to do more in terms of transactions, in terms of even what you're able to do using minimal resources. Because if you do it manually, then it means you need to employ more people. People will have to overnight to do overtimes to be able to serve. But with technology, once you put all the systems in place and all the processes which are already digitized, then members can actually do self-service. It means some of the services are done through self-service, where a member accesses the service without really having to be served by internally somebody. So that already pushes volumes, revenue, and to me, I think much of our growth has come because of technology. And I'll say our mobile, the virtuous branch, which we call the mobile system, for us it does more than 35% of any other branch. So that becomes a big deal, yeah.
Okay, and Hassan is?
If I was to look at our growth in the last 10 years, from 2015 up to date, we have grown almost 3 times. But that growth has been accelerated through technology. If there was no technology, I do not think we'd be where we are. And technology is in everything. As Solomon has pointed out, it's not just about your products and services, it's also about your efficiency. If you look at operations that we're doing currently, these are operations that would have been manually done in the past. Let's even use a very classic example. Post-COVID, if you are to look at before the adoption of the use of virtual meetings, then how many meetings were you going to have physically? And I'm talking about decision-making process of doing that. You need a physical meeting, you have board committees, you have committees, you have management meetings and the like. So how many of those would you physically have to do? Or even if it's a business meeting, you're meeting investors, how many of those would you physically do in a day? Probably I'd say 2, 3 maximum. But now with the advent of technology, it means you can be able to spread yourself a bit wider. You can be able to do more. Look at it, things like reaching out to members. We do carry out webinars as an institution. So of course, part and principle of the cooperative and operative principle is member education, information and training. So in the past, this would be done physically. It means you'd go to different locations where your members are, engage with them, have a discussion with them. And how many times do you do that in a year? Our membership is 220,000. So how do you get 220,000 people and they are segmented in different pockets to have an engagement with them? And I think the answer for us was, again, going back to technology, having sure that you have virtual forums, virtual investment forums, whereby you can be able to reach out to any member anywhere in the globe. And an institution like ours that has even members in the diaspora, in the US, in Canada, in the UK, across the whole globe, it became easier for us to have an interaction with the membership. And the turnout is always very good. We do an average of almost 1,500 individuals turning up for the webinars.
Wow.
And again, technology has also enabled us to do this on almost a 24/7 basis.
What's your concern about this opportunity as the CEO of Stima?
Wow. Of course, with technology, there's the good and the bad in everything. So the good is what you're speaking about. So you have more products, more services, more accessibility of these products. There's more efficiency in everything that we're doing. But of course, the bad side is that the technology comes with the risks. And I think the biggest risk that I see is around cybersecurity and cyber fraud. Cyber fraud in the sense of a couple of things. We've seen in Kenya in particular an uptake of identity fraud It has happened it's not even in the SACCO sector. It is in the financial universe, whereby people are able to pretend to be somebody else so that they can be able to steal your identity and probably utilize that to gain access to your finances. Whether it's a bank, a SACCO, an insurance company, or a telco, this is something that is affecting all of us. And of course, there are steps that we've attempted to take through to dissuade against that. But there's also the aspect of now the cyber risk in terms of things like hacking. There are people outside there who have come to appreciate SACCOs, have grown in size. And most of our SACCOs, I think the top 3, top 4 SACCOs in Kenya are bigger than most banks. That's a reality. Individually, we are bigger than most banks. So it tells you we also carry with us quite a lot in terms of the investments we do have. But unfortunately, it also attracts some of the unfortunate attention that we don't need. And it's not just in Kenya, it's also internationally. People try to hack into your system. So for Stima in particular, what we've done is to come up with the Security Operations Center. So it's a 24/7 center. We started off with our biggest telco, being Safaricom. They offer something called an umbrella. An umbrella is a service that enables them to look through our systems in all transactions that are coming and leaving to see whether there's any anomaly and also alert us on the same. But what we realized is because we are so much into the mobile platform, we are running 2 mobile platforms. As much as that was very good for us, it was not real time. So we needed to have a system that, apart from having that umbrella from the telco, ourselves are able to monitor the transactions that are happening on a real time basis. So we opened up a Security Operations Center, a 24/7 one, that their only job is to monitor for fraud. And not to tell us when fraud happens, to prevent it before it happens. We have, in a day, minimum 3,000 hacking attempts in our systems. Every day, 3,000. It becomes worse on Friday and Saturday. It becomes worse during holidays. But what we've decided to do is to build capacity internally, having the right systems that can be able to monitor that for you, and also having the right people, because you do need a combination of the peopleware and the software to be able to ensure that nothing bad happens to the organization.
So that's a huge concern, Solomon, and might be affecting you too. But I'd like you to also help us unpack the cost involved when you're getting into this, because first, how was it like yourself when to get into a huge investment in technology? Was it accepted? And after that, when you had these issues that are there, like hacking, how do you invest in the right solutions?
I'll tell you, George, 5 years ago, I think, when I did a major project in Kenya National Police Digital SACCO, just to make sure all the systems, I've been able to automate all the areas, the document, the core banking, and even putting the servers, the network security, and all those kind of systems. George, it did not cost me less than 600 million Kenya shillings. That's 5 years ago. If I did the same project today, the cost has jumped between 1.5 billion to 2 billion Kenya shillings. And remember, after you've built that system of 2 billion or 1.5 billion, you need another 1 billion to secure it. From what my brother Hassan has said, you can see even Hassan has gone further, not just setting a system to protect his system. He has people, he has employed people to watch 24/7 what is happening, which to me I think is a very expensive exercise. And I think in this country, I'm not sure, or in Africa, I'm not sure whether SACCOs have those kind of money to invest in those kind of systems. It's a big challenge. And for us, the big SACCOs, Stima, police, Mwalimu, we could have some little money which we can put into those kind of technologies and move on. But for the smaller SACCOs, George, it's totally difficult. So to me, I see that to be one of the biggest challenge. You set up the system, but then you not stop there. You have to set a similar amount of money to protect that system in terms of licenses. And then again, the systems that are being built now into the market, they have a lifespan of 5 years. You do a project now, in the next 5 years, you must redo it again. So to me, I think we have to look on what are the best optimal solutions that as a sector, as an industry, maybe through the national associations or through organizations that will be able to help, so that even the smaller SACCOs who have also a niche within the financial sector market of credit unions or SACCOs can also benefit from this opportunity of the 21st century.
I'd like to weigh in your thoughts about how do we, we've always spoken about the marginalized group. You've done great presentation across the continent on how to tap in the marginalized group. What will you advise the SACCO leaders on how they can use technology to bring in the young people, the marginalized group, young, old, everybody, without fearing on the cost involved in investing in technology? I'll start with you, Solomon.
George, I think for AI, I say in the 21st century, that is where technology is. And in most cases, what we are saying is, what is it more that you can do using the available technologies? Especially for AI in the areas like putting in systems or technology that will be able to analyze data, pick characteristics of your different types of members and even their saving behavior, and help you even in terms of designing new products, such kind of things. We even have, how would even the system be able to know even the members, they know, in case you want to know who your members are, in terms of even how best do you serve them. So with AI, that's going to be easy because you package all that, and even the rating, the credit rating of those members will be able to be known, and you can easily, quickly, and efficiently be able to serve them. Another, on the flip side also, we are also talking about the risks, hacking, because hacking has now gone to the high level. So AI is a powerful tool. George, I'll say we may not be ready, but we have to walk. We have to move very fast. We have to run.
Every person wants financial inclusivity, and I think our model still works. The model of SACCOs works. It's about including everybody in the financial space, and right now it's a digital space, it's an AI space. And what does it cost us to partner with other people who have invested a bit more heavily in that? And there are many case studies of that across Africa, very successful ones. And the question is, as a cooperative, I don't think we should be put off by the issue of costing. I think costing is relative. And maybe we're also looking at this the wrong way. You don't have to invest alone. You could look for a partner, a fintech that has actually done this. And there are very many of them, including the ones that are trying to come up, startups, quite many of them. These startups, we can be able to collaborate with them so that they can be able to appreciate the model that we have as a cooperative and ask those questions in how then do we fuse the aspect of artificial intelligence, the digital world that we are in with our cooperative model. And I think if you're able to do that, then we should not fear technology coming on board. And after all, we already use AI. So why can't we combine ourselves so that we have something that is more shared? And especially for the smaller SACCOs, do they need to go through the pain that we went through to get where we are? Or can they utilize our learning experiences and make it easier for them by combining our resources, our thoughts together, and creating a shared platform that can be utilized for all? I think for me that would be the right way for us to address the aspect of marginalized communities through coming together, through collaboration as a SACCO sector.
Thank you so much for being part of this SACCO Insight, where our focus has been on technology. As you all know, 2025 has been declared by the UN as the International Year of Cooperatives. One of the operating principles for the SACCOs is cooperation. No wonder both of you have spoken about network and cooperation. SDG number 17 talks about partnership. In partnership, we will achieve a lot. Thank you for sharing your insights, and we hope that in another topic, because you're opinion leaders within the sector, we'll be happy to invite you again back to SACCO Insight.
Thank you for having us.